The invitation arrived on a Tuesday, nestled amongst the usual bills and junk mail. Thick, cream-colored cardstock, the kind that feels important, almost weighty in your hands. It spoke of tradition, of commitment, of a future carefully planned. My friends, Sarah and Mark, were getting married. I was genuinely happy for them, seeing their joy radiate from the photograph on the invitation. But as I read my name, printed neatly among the list of invited guests, a familiar ache settled in my chest, a dull throb of longing. At the reception, amidst the swirling dresses and clinking glasses, I eventually found my assigned table. It was surrounded by couples, laughing and holding hands, with an empty chair pointedly beside me. That empty chair seemed to spotlight my singleness, amplifying the feeling of being incomplete, of missing something vital. Each well-meaning, "So, are you seeing anyone special?" felt less like genuine curiosity and more like a gentle, probing accusation. It was as if they were subtly asking, "Why not? What's wrong with you?" I smiled, offering polite, vague answers, but inside I whispered a silent plea. God, have you forgotten me in all of this? Why does it seem like everyone else is effortlessly moving forward in this area of life while I'm stuck in place? The world relentlessly tells us that romantic love is the ultimate prize, the pinnacle of happiness and fulfillment. This constant messaging makes singleness feel like a desolate waiting room, a temporary holding pattern before real life begins. But what if this season of singleness isn't just a waiting room, a period of inactivity and anticipation? What if it's actually a sacred space, intentionally designed for a unique and significant purpose in your life? The ache of loneliness is undeniably real, but it doesn't have the final say in defining your worth or your future. God's plan for you, in this season and beyond, isn't a consolation prize or a second-best option. It's a custom-designed masterpiece, meticulously crafted with your unique talents, passions, and purpose in mind. Your current chapter, with all its challenges and opportunities, is an absolutely essential part of your unfolding story. So let's learn to see past the perceived emptiness of that empty chair. Let's recognize and embrace the abundant feast that God has already prepared for us right here and right now, in this very moment. Singleness isn't a pause button on life, it's an integral and valuable part of the ongoing journey. When you're single, your time is truly your own. It stretches out before you, unburdened by the immediate demands of partnership. This freedom is a gift often overlooked, a space where you can breathe and simply be. You have the freedom to pursue passions, those long-held dreams and interests that might otherwise be set aside. Travel to far-off lands or explore hidden gems in your own backyard. And most importantly, discover who you are, independent and strong, apart from anyone else's expectations or influence. This is a season specifically designed for deep self-discovery, a time to understand your values, your strengths, and your unique calling. It's about building a solid foundation of self-awareness, knowing yourself intimately before inviting someone else into your life. Singleness also allows for rich, meaningful friendships to blossom and deepen. These are connections that reflect God's relational nature, mirroring His love and care through the people He places in your life. Cherish and cultivate these friendships with intention and gratitude. Invest in them, nurture them, and watch them flourish. They are vital, not secondary, and they provide a support system that enriches your life in countless ways. Spiritually, this is a time to lean on God, to draw closer to Him in a way that might not be possible in other seasons. See Him as your confidant and provider, the one who understands you completely and meets your every need. Use this time to quiet the noise and distractions, to hear His voice more clearly, guiding you and directing your path. Build a history with God now, a foundation of faith that will sustain you through every season of life. This relationship is your anchor, your source of strength, and your unwavering hope. Consider Paul. He saw singleness not as a limitation, but as a strategic advantage, freeing him to serve God with undivided attention. Singleness isn't a curse or a waiting room. It's not a period of lack, but one of potential. It's a season with unique purpose and opportunity, a chance to invest in yourself and in the things that truly matter. It allows for undivided devotion, a focused commitment to prayer, worship, and spiritual growth. And it provides flexibility in service, enabling you to respond to God's call without the constraints of other commitments. Your singleness is not a liability or a disadvantage. It doesn't diminish your worth or potential, but a potential asset for the kingdom, a unique opportunity to make a difference in the world. Embrace this season for growth, for learning, and for becoming the best version of yourself. Embrace it for service, for giving back, and for forging deep connections with God and others who share your journey. There is profound purpose and abundant blessing waiting to be discovered in this chapter of your life. We all grow up with a script: finish school, get a job, marry, start a family. When life doesn't follow that timeline, it can feel like failure. The pressure to conform is real, but trusting God means letting go of our script. God is the author of your story, and his plot is more creative than ours. Proverbs says, "Many are the plans in a person's heart, but the Lord's purpose prevails." Our frustration comes from trying to force God into our timeline. Trusting God is like trusting a brilliant author. You keep turning the pages, even when the plot is confusing. This season of singleness isn't a mistake, it's an intentional part of your story. Instead of asking, "Why haven't you given me what I want?" ask, "What are you teaching me in this chapter?" God's timing is perfect, even when it's not ours. Our job is to trust the author. Waiting is hard, especially in a world of instant gratification, but in God's economy, waiting is never wasted. It's a workshop, not a punishment. In waiting, our faith is refined and our character forged. It's where we learn to depend on God alone. My friend Anna spent years single, pouring herself into ministry and mentoring. When she finally married, she looked back with gratitude for all God built in her during the wait. The purpose of waiting isn't just what you'll receive, but who you become. God is preparing you for your future, shaping you for his glory. Don't despise the waiting, embrace it as a sacred season of preparation. Trust that the divine potter knows what he's doing. The final product will be worth the wait. Waiting is not wasted, it's transformative. The Bible is full of real people who waited and wrestled with unfulfilled desires. Joseph waited in slavery and prison for years, yet remained faithful, serving others even in darkness. In God's time, Joseph was raised from prison to palace. His waiting prepared him to save a nation. Faithfulness in small unseen places is training for future influence. Sarah waited decades for a promised son, doubting at times, but God was faithful. Their stories remind us, God's promises aren't limited by logic or time. Trusting him means believing for the impossible, even when it seems illogical. Hold on to his word, even when years pass. God is a promise keeper, working on his perfect schedule. Your story, like theirs, is in the hands of a faithful God. Waiting is part of the promise. One of the greatest thieves of joy, a silent saboteur of our happiness, is living perpetually in the future, always waiting for life to begin. We tell ourselves, "Then I'll be happy, then I'll be complete." We put our lives on hold, thinking, delaying our dreams and passions. "I'll start living when I get married, when I find that perfect someone." But today, this very moment is a gift, a precious opportunity. Don't waste it wishing for some distant tomorrow, some imagined future. Don't let it slip through your fingers. Embrace the present. Savor the ordinary moments, the small joys that fill our days. Invest in friendships, nurture those connections that bring laughter and support, serve others, and live fully, vibrantly, and intentionally now. Your life doesn't magically begin at "I do." It's unfolding right now, in all its messy, beautiful glory. Jesus offers abundant life today, a life overflowing with purpose and meaning, not just for married people, but for everyone, in every season of life. Trusting God with the future, releasing our anxieties and surrendering our plans, starts with actively living the life he's already given you today, with gratitude and intention. Focus on what you have, the blessings that surround you, not on what you perceive you lack, the things you think are missing. Build trust by actively seeing and acknowledging God's faithfulness, his constant presence in the daily details, the seemingly insignificant moments that reveal his love. Stop waiting for the right time, and start living boldly and authentically. Plan that trip you've always dreamed of, learn that skill that's been calling to you, serve others with a generous heart. This isn't denying your desire for marriage or a relationship. It's an active act of faith, a declaration of trust. Tell God with sincerity and vulnerability, "I trust you completely with my future, with every detail of my life, so I will choose to fully live and embrace today with all its possibilities." This is the pathway, the surest route, to true and lasting contentment. Trust is an action, not just a feeling. Deepen your relationship with God, spend daily time in prayer and his word. Be honest with God about your desires, but also listen for his voice. Cultivate gratitude. Write down what you're thankful for each day. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's abundant. Find a place to serve, use your gifts to bless others, and find purpose. Serving expands your perspective and brings joy. Surround yourself with a godly community. Don't walk this season alone. Seek friends and mentors who encourage and challenge you. Community reminds you that you're not forgotten. Your singleness is not a problem to solve, but a sacred opportunity. Trust God, live fully, and watch what He will do. This season is a gift, embrace it.